Well, I've just come back with Harold, and now I'm on my last horse of the day, and the light's beginning to go a bit. So I thought, well, I'll keep this hat on, and I'll come out keep this hat on and record Trusty Jupiter. And we'll probably have to, he's quite fit. He has had a lunge because all the horses were a bit on fire today for some reason. So I'll probably do quite a lot of trotting. In fact, I might start now. Oh, Jupiter says, please, no trotting. Let's just walk. What I'm going to do today, because it's a good ride to do when you have your horse, is to go through the farm, which involves 1, 2, 3 gates, and for whatever reason the horses find it particularly spooky down there, up there, so it's not the sort of place. There are places you can take them off-road which are less spooky, because this place they do find very spooky, and so it's not a good idea to go there until you feel your horse is ready. Well, luckily Jupiter has reached that point, and so the other thing is there's a very narrow bridle path up to the main field, and it's got a big hedge on one side. You'll see it when we get there, and an open field on the other, and it's absolutely full of flapping pheasants and screaming partridge, or partridge that lay hidden in the grass and then spring up right under your feet. So you do need a horse that's very good with those kind of noises, which, I mean, horses always have a habit of making liars out of you, but you know, Jupiter is good up there, and he's become really dependable in that direction, which is fantastic, because he used to get so worried about what was in the hedge line. You know, so many horses are like that, they get really worried, and he was one of them. If there was any movement or sound in a hedge, you know, he used to get quite uptight and want to sort of either stop, turn round, or, you know, rush away. So thank God all that's gone now. Good boy, Jupes. Now, me and Jupiter have a great understanding, and I don't think this is necessarily the best day on a Monday. On the last ride, given how all the horses have been feeling today, to go up through the farm. But however, I do trust Jupiter, and he's had a lot of this kind of schooling, which hopefully will stand us in good stead. No, we're not going up there. And note how much, I mean, he's got very positive paces, but note how much more regular the trot is. I mean, it just gets nicer and nicer, you know, the more we do. I can hear the quads starting up. They're going to behave, the horses. So the kind of litmus test of the relationship and how established your horse is when they're feeling fresh and up for a bit of, that they're not silly. You see, nobody minds riding a fresh horse. I don't mind riding a fresh horse, that's fine. It's when they're fresh and they're not established and they're just silly. And they're just silly, they're not with you, they're on their own agenda, and quite frankly, they're unpredictable. So what I'm saying is, although Jupiter is probably fresh, not as fresh as if he hadn't been lunched, admittedly, but I'm hoping, hello Tom, that he will be established enough that he'll be manageable despite being fresh, and that's really the key. Okay, you don't want to take chances unnecessarily, but a fresh horse that's manageable is very different to a fresh horse that's unpredictable and not established, hasn't got established responses and can do all sorts of things. Well, they're very different, and I wouldn't be coming on this route on one of them these days. He's just stopped for dropping. He says, I think we'll turn round. No, we won't. He's only turning his head because he's a little bit fresh, but he's not really a problem now. Right, so this is the track I was telling you about, and behind this hedge on the left, of course today might be different, but every day, every time I come up here, there's a great pheasant activity, which horses can find very, very unsettling. I'm just dragging my stick through the stock netting. That's very good for them. So yeah, this is a nice trot up here on the right horse, and that is the key, on the right horse. Otherwise it's not a nice trot, and you're having to ride for every stride, and the horse is looking for a way out. And because it's quite narrow, it can be quite dangerous really with this fence, because it's 2 strands of barbed wire. So yeah, I'm glad I'm on Jupiter. Now up here is the first gate,